Good morning and welcome to the October 22nd meeting. And we'll rise for the flag pledge led by our birthday boy today, Mr. Morrow.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Congratulations on surviving another year.
Well, thank you. And thank you, Marie, for the cookies.
You're welcome.
Entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
Motion is second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. You have before you 4 items on the consent agenda. I'd entertain a motion.
You got new employees?
Oh, I'm sorry. I missed them. They're all sitting there too. New employees.
They're not all new employees.
Some are. Please, come forward.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'll start off by introducing Taylor Volk. She is new to our admin support team. Not necessarily new to the county though. She previously worked here in dispatch.
Okay.
So we're excited to have her in Health and Human Services.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Now, since some of us don't know your history, would you be able to share a little of that with us?
Yeah, I grew up in St. Peter and I live in North Mankato currently. I dispatched for just under 5 years. I was done in December and I went to school at Gustavus for health fitness and then I got my master's in health and human services admin.
Congratulations. Welcome.
And this is Stephanie Sturdy. She's our newest children's mental health worker. We stole her away from another county. She was doing adult mental health case management.
Good morning.
Welcome.
Welcome. Tell us a little bit.
So I live in New Ulm, grew up there, did therapy for many years before transferring into the county world, did adult mental health in Brown County, and then missed working with kids and came back and started working here.
You grew up in New Ulm?
I did.
What's your parents' names?
Walger. They're more of like a Fairfax St. George family, so.
Like Ed?
Yeah, that would be my uncle.
Okay.
Yep.
It's always a connection.
Yes.
It's a little
Always
game
a
play.
connection. Again, welcome to all of
Yeah.
you and congratulations on your
Oh, Teresa?
Yeah,
That's your mom?
that's my mom.
Okay.
And Cassie deserves congratulations. She finished her probationary period.
Oh, good girl.
Thank you.
We think.
Have that out of the way.
It's been a year already, huh? There's the irony of that, how quickly
That's
it
great.
flies by.
Yeah.
Thank you all and welcome.
Congratulations.
We
Yes.
appreciate it.
Mr. Chair, it's always nice to be off probation, isn't it?
It is
I think our whole board is right now, aren't we?
pretty close. Well,
We also have a marathon runner that's leading us as well.
Oh, yeah?
really?
Half, just a half. More than I ran on Saturday, so.
Now we'll entertain a motion on the consent agenda.
So moved.
We have a motion.
Second.
We have a second. Any items to discuss? None. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. This is the opportunity for public appearances. Anyone wishing to address the commission can please step forward. You will have 3 minutes and
Come up to that chair.
please come up, have a seat, state your name and address, and then you will start your timer.
Yeah, my name is
can
Mike
sit down.
Steven. Pardon me?
You can sit down. Be comfortable. It's easier to hear in the microphone. They'll see your face on television now. Now we're good.
Well then, how do I look? Do I look
Hey,
okay?
Lovely.
Good enough for TV?
It's-
You got a
some-
thumb up.
we got a thumb up from the video
I'm
guy.
not taking- I'm
You
not
may want to
taking-
tip the cap back a little more so they
I'm
can
not
see your
taking my
face.
hat off because
Yeah,
usually
no,
that's
no, it's
quite
all
a,
good.
quite a bit of glare there. No, the reason my name
Please.
is Mike Stevenson. I live over Cortland Township on the River Bottom Road from Cortland to Judson. I recently got pulled over by a conservation officer because I was riding my four-wheeler on a county road. As I come out of my driveway, I'm on a township road, and I'm heading down to my neighbor's because I'm pulling an old duck boat because he's going to let me hunt ducks down there. But when I come up on Highway 62, now I'm on a county road. Now I can't ride that four-wheeler legally on that road. He kind of explained the rules and laws to me. So one day I stopped down here at the courthouse to see if there was anything I could do to get a sticker or something that I could ride that all-terrain vehicle, my old four-wheeler, on a county road because I run back and forth to my brother's place, which is 4 miles down the road. No, You know, we got the ag sticker, but we're not really farmers anymore. We put all our land in CRP. And I've got the regular registration, just like your side-by-sides, which is the four-wheelers with the bench seat. So I called the conservation officer back one day, Thor Nelson, and he explained to me what's with this and that. And he said at the end there, he was telling me that some counties have amended their county ordinances to allow this to be legal. So that's why I'm here today, because it would be, I want you guys to kind of maybe consider changing that. You know, what's the difference between a side-by-side and a 4x4 if you're going to ride them on the shoulder of the road? County Road 62 doesn't have a ditch. The conservation officer told me I could legally ride in that road ditch after the nesting season, but County 62 at that point, in that area, doesn't have a ditch at all. And I'm thinking, well, you know, if other counties are doing this, maybe we could consider doing this in Nicollet County also, just simply changing the rule a little bit there as to where a guy can ride. Like I say, the side-by-sides are legal, and they've got the exact same sticker on their machine as I have in mine. But when I pull up on that county road, I can no longer ride it legally. Any questions?
Not at this moment that I can think of. We'll take it under advisement. And
I did bring, I talked to John about that, and he said try to get the sheriff here or CEO here to, if there was any questions. So Dave stopped by on my behalf, and I appreciate that. So that's why I'm here. It would be a minor little adjustment where, you know, we could ride a 4x4 on a county road just like a side-by-side. Okay?
thank you.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate your time.
Thanks, Mike.
Add that to the workshop if it's,
I was going to suggest that would be something that we explore at the workshop. Dave, would you be willing to participate in that? Sure. Okay. So we'll add that. Health and Human Services, there she is, yet again. Good morning.
Good morning again. I have a few items this morning. The first of which is our MVAC contract. We have a modification of 2019 funds available. So we currently contract with the Minnesota Valley Action Council for the provision of services for the Minnesota Family Investment Program and Diversionary Work Program. These are a combination of federal funds and state appropriations given to us on an annual basis. So in 2019, we had set up our contract, and coming into the year, we found out that our appropriation was reduced for Nicollet County. Therefore, our contracted amount with MVAC needs to be appropriately reduced as well. So they have been flexible in working with us to identify a new budget to finish out the 2019 year. We will have a 2020 budget and contract to present next month to the board that will also reflect these appropriations. So I am requesting approval of an amendment to our contract to get them through the rest of the 2019 budget.
Mr. Chair, if I could, as a member of the Minnesota Valley Action Council, I'd move to approve.
I'll second.
A motion, we have a second. Any other discussions or questions?
Just
Gary?
one quick one. We've talked about language services and interpreters in a number of contexts, and I know there's mention of the language line here. We'll continue discussions about ways we can provide interpretive services across departments and programs.
That would be greatly appreciated, yes. I have a little bit of statistics when we talked about our next agenda item as well regarding that topic, because that has been identified as our most significant barrier in Nicollet County for providing these services.
Any other questions on the topic? We have a motion, we have a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Motion carries unanimously. Your next item.
Thank you. The next item I have is the 2019-20, actually it should say 2020-2021, I apologize, County MFIP Biennial Service Agreement. So this is the agreement that we develop in conjunction with Minnesota Valley Action Council. It takes a look at the strengths in our region as well as our barriers, and then shares our proposed budget for the next 2 years. We are required as a county to submit that to the Department of Human Services every year. So just to give a brief summary, I just included on here that our strengths were identified as strong partnerships with community resources, collaboration with employers and placement agencies, access to training programs, including career pathways, community colleges, and adult basic education. And perhaps the strongest has been our communication between the county and Minnesota Valley Action Council. That relationship has become very strong in the last year. A lot of communication, a lot of flexibility, and really, I think, identifying some areas that we can really collaborate to make a difference in our community. The most significant challenge identified was that language barrier. For our MFIP program, we identify 34% speak Somali and 2% speak Arabic. And for the DWP program, we identify 27% speaking Somali and 3% speaking Swahili. So part of this process for 2020, when we present that budget, we made a change where we are allocating a larger amount of funds to MVAC for enhanced services, and all of that will go to coordination of interpreters on their site, as well as work with somebody who can provide a better understanding of programs, which is a much different thing than just interpreting, as well as increasing our adult basic education, English as a second language options for our clients. That has been very much lacking in our county. So we're really partnering, I think, very well to develop those programs into the next year. We do continue to struggle here on site that we don't have an ability to communicate very, very well, I guess, with, as you can see, what is becoming a very large population of our county. A few of our other barriers identified were lack of daycare providers for those who are interested in working, lack of public transportation to get to places of employment, increasing numbers of refugees and disparities amongst communities of color, clients with barriers to employment that might include offender status, mental health issues, homelessness, and getting medical opinion forms back from physicians and clinics in a timely manner. So this biennial service agreement required a 30-day public comment period, so we posted that on our website on September 13th, and we did not receive any public input. So my ask to the board would be approval for submission of this document to the Department of Human Services.
So moved.
We have a motion.
Second.
Any other discussion or questions?
Thank you.
Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. And then you have one more item, right?
I have one more, yes. So my last one is foster care transportation contracts. Looking for delegation of authority to complete a few contracts that we have in this area. In 2015, the Elementary and Secondary Education Act was amended by the Every Student Succeeds Act, which requires that when we have youth placed in foster care, that we are keeping them in attendance of their originating school district, if at all possible. So this act has the Child Welfare Agency or the county make the final decisions regarding that. And it also indicates that the county and the school district should share the cost of those transportation needs. We have not had a contract yet brought to myself or to the board for formal approval. So we are working on one, and I included a draft of what Michelle and I have kind of settled with, and that has been submitted to the Mankato schools as well as St. Peter's schools for review, and would also need to be looked at with Nicollet. So my ask would be delegation of authority to sign those school contracts similar to our other school cooperative agreements.
Just one question. This issue is germane only to public schools, or that's it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's no other provisions, right?
Correct.
Okay, just want to be clear about that. Even though there may be shared transit, it's still an issue of that public school component.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm. So moved.
We have motion.
Second.
We have a second. Any other discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Chair, members of the board and staff. Several items from Public Works today. The first being to consider award a bid for our County Road 14 temporary slope failure remediation project. Before the board meeting had started, I had handed out updated agenda item forms for this item, and on the back of the form is a copy of the bid tabulation of the bids that we had received yesterday. So we received 3 bids, and they were opened yesterday, October 21st, with Mathewitz Construction Company submitting a low bid of $180,773. This project would entail temporary work that will protect the slope failure on County Road 14, so we don't see additional erosion and damage during the winter and spring melt next year. This project is to protect that slope until we can do the permanent project, and we're anticipating hopefully doing that permanent project sometime next year. Project was a bit over the engineer's estimate, but given the time of the year and kind of the time crunch to get this project done, we really need to have this done before the snow flies. That's why you see the resulting bid a bit higher than the engineer's estimate. This project is eligible for federal highway disaster funding, and cost would be split 80% Fed dollars, with the remaining amount we'd utilize our state aid dollars for that. One item to note, since the temporary project and the permanent repairs will be of a significant amount, I will be making a request to the State Aid Disaster Committee for possible funding from the State Aid Disaster account, which if they grant us those funds, they would make up the entire match for the temporary project and the permanent repair project. So I'm asking the board today to award contract to Mathewitz Construction Company for the low bid amount of $180,773.
I'll move for Mathewitz Construction.
We have a motion.
Second.
We have a second. Any other discussion or questions, Gary?
Yeah, just a question. Seth, on lines 2 and 3 of the back side of the page, clearing and grubbing.
Yep.
It was interesting to me that the difference in the unit price between the 3 contractors and us. I mean, it was fascinating how the spread.
Yeah, and it all depends on where those contractors want to, associate their costs.
Okay.
There's incidental work that needs to be done out there, and they will pick one of these items to put that cost under. So yeah, it's
from
sometimes
5,000
it's
from 5,000 to
interesting.
40,000 is a big spread.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And part of that clearing and grubbing too is finding a disposal site for trees and debris and whatnot, and so some of those contractors may have to haul it farther than others, and that's why you may see those big fluctuations.
Thank you.
Any other questions? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Carries unanimously.
As we execute all the contract documents, if everything's put in place, we're anticipating contractors, we put a start date in the contract of November 4th with all the work to be wrapped up by December 1st. And so we hope we receive favorable weather to complete this work.
Question, Mr. Chair? So if they would have opportunity, would it be okay for them to start earlier?
Just given the time that's going to take to run contract documents back
Okay.
and forth and for the contractor to
So that's probably the date.
Yes,
Okay.
and that might even be ambitious.
Okay, thank you.
The second item I have is for the board to consider authorize advertising for State Aid Project 52621-027. This project would be the replacement of the old box culverts on County Road 21 near the entrance of Fort Ridgely State Park, and that replacement would end up being a new bridge put in place. We originally had hoped that we would do that construction this year, but going through working with the regulatory agencies and whatnot, we didn't receive approvals from them until a little bit too late in the construction season this year to get this project done this year. So we would plan on starting this project pretty early next year. I believe we're putting an April 13th start date in the contract, and so hopefully by midsummer or so, with good weather, this project would be wrapped up. So I'm asking the board today to authorize advertising for this project and set a bid opening date of November 19th, 2019 at 11:30 a.m. at our office.
I'll move the proposal.
Second.
A motion, a second. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously.
My last item is to consider resolution transferring excess municipal construction funds to our regular construction account. Every year we receive allotments from the MnDOT State Aid Office that construction funds that are to be used on municipal CSA routes, and those are county state aid routes that are in cities under populations of 5,000. The remaining construction balance goes into our regular construction account that can be used on all the state aid roads outside those municipalities, and you can also use it in the municipalities. Both those accounts have caps on how much you can carry. So our municipal account for ending of this calendar year with the allotment that we received this year will be over that amount. State law allows by resolution the county to transfer those excess funds and put them into our regular account so we don't lose any of those funds. And that doesn't mean that once those funds are transferred to the regular account that we don't have money for our municipal state aid routes. If the municipal account is a bit low and wouldn't cover an entire project, we'd just use our regular state aid construction funds for that. So attached in your board packet is the resolution for the board's consideration. I'd be requesting that we transfer $300,000 out of the municipal account into the regular construction account.
So moved.
Have a motion?
Second.
We have a second. Any other questions or discussion? Hearing none, call the roll, please.
Yes.
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 That's all I have for the board today, unless there's questions.
Do you have any questions on, we had a good opportunity to see all of the ongoing projects. County Road 1 is excellent and looks well, and we just have some striping yet to fix. That was all that was left on it? Or is that
With the striping
that
that small, we didn't add it into the contract, and we'll just pick that up with our regular
cycle.
maintenance striping next year. Yep.
Thank you. Thank you,
All
sir.
right, thank you.
Appreciate it. Guess who's up next?
I thought she was in Tennessee.
Well, she came back just for us.
Yeah, right.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Chair, members of the board and staff. We have finished quarter 3, and I'm here to present a resolution for approving donations received by Nicollet County. This quarter, we received Veterans Van donations of $720. We also received a donation from Auto Restorers Club of $1,000, of which $200 is for Sheriff Posse and $800 for Sheriff K-9. And then we also had the various donors for the loan closet. Total of $2,085 for quarter 3. And I'd be looking for approval today to accept.
I'll move the resolution.
We have a motion.
Second.
We have a second by Lipke. Any other discussion? Hearing none, call the roll, please.
Terry?
Morrow.
Yes.
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 Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Madam County Attorney, have you got some issues for us today that you would like to discuss?
I would just like to remind everyone that next Wednesday, October 30th, is the Know the Truth event. It will be at the South Central College. The events start at 6 to 8:30, with the presentation actually starting at 6:30. Prior to the event starting at 6:30, there will be resources available for people to review regarding chemical use and chemical intervention, as well as an interactive exhibit brought by the Teen Challenge and Know the Truth individuals that looks at things, for example, of a teenage room. Where do you look if you're looking for things in a teenage room? Those kinds of things. Like I said, the presentation from 6:30 to 8 with a Q&A from 8 to 8:30. And I would note that there is a portion for parents and a separate portion for students. So we're really encouraging parents to bring their children to this. I believe it's 7th grade to 12th grade. The kids will participate, parents. It allows for interactive discussion then afterwards about what they both heard. And then we are also having a drug take-back event that evening as well. So any unwanted or unused prescriptions bring to that event, and we'll properly dispose of them, because it's one very effective way of avoiding those drugs getting into unintended hands. So I would encourage everyone to attend.
Great.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, Michelle, will you be able to share via email that information
I can.
with us?
Yes. And if you have social media and are willing to put it out on social media, that would be much appreciated, especially the fact that there's the dual presentations for adults and parents. This will be the 3rd event that we've had in Nicollet County. Last year, at the beginning of October, we had one in St. Peter. We had one earlier this month in Nicollet, and now in North Mankato.
Great.
Thank
Anything
you.
else?
No, thank you.
Thank you so much. I'm just looking, administration had nothing, it wasn't on the agenda, but I just want to make sure you didn't have anything, right? Okay, very good. Commissioners' reports, I'll lead off. Since our last time at board, I've had the Statewide Emergency Communication Board Finance Committee that I serve on. Our road tour, nicely attended. We had a lot of good experiences looking at the various projects throughout the county, and was very helpful for me personally. Yesterday, Nicollet County Mental Health Advisory Board meeting, and that's all I have. We'll start with Commissioner Lipke today.
Had a Rush River meeting, might be one of our last. They're talking about phasing down with the watershed plans changing. And then the road workshop with the rest of you.
Commissioner Morrow.
Adolescent chemical wellness meeting, the tour with everyone, our St. Peter meeting, St. Peter liaison meeting with Marie, and I attended the Highway 169 open house.
Okay. Commissioner Brown.
Nothing that everybody else has already reported on.
Okay. Is that how that's going to be reflected in the minutes? Nothing everybody else did, right? Commissioner Kolars.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The RETA Committee, the county workshop, county health meetings, and Minnesota Valley Action Council meeting last night. That's all.
Thank you. We have meetings coming up. I just remind everybody, November 1, we have the district meeting, and it will be at, I believe, the courtyard of Marriott Courtyard in Mankato. Blue Earth County is hosting this event. I think that's, and has everybody resolved their issues as far as going to the AMC annual conference? Everybody's good to go there.
Yeah, I'm going to St. Cloud tonight.
Huh?
Land use planning workshop.
Okay. Very good. Anything else there? I'd entertain a motion to approve per diems and expenses.
Move it.
I have a motion.
Second.
Have a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion
Aye.
carries unanimously. I think we have reached that moment where we are prepared to adjourn this meeting, and I'd entertain that motion.
Move to adjourn.
I'll second.
Motion is second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Carries unanimously. We are adjourned. I'd like to call the Drainage Authority meeting to order. We have before you a consent agenda. I'd entertain a motion for the consent agenda.
So
So moved.
We have a motion.
I'll second.
We have a second. Any other discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Motion carries unanimously. Have a moment for public appearances. I see no one for public appearances. We'll close that opportunity. Next item on the agenda is considering the appointment of additional viewer for redetermination of benefits at various drainage systems. And Jackie is with us.
Good morning, Mr. Chair,
Good
members of the
morning.
board. Yes, in front of you, I have several resolutions, one for each current active ditch that we have the group of Mark Barons working on. And those ditches are County Ditch 4A, County Ditch 13A, County Ditch 29A, County Ditch 33A, County Ditch 48A, and finally County Ditch 51A. Those have been assigned to Mark Barons and his group. And Mark has indicated that he has an additional viewer who is credited and willing to work on these projects to help them move along a little more quickly. John Thompson is the viewer. He is accredited and will be submitting his insurance. Mark has indicated that he does have the correct insurance and will be submitting that as well. So I'll be asking the board to approve each resolution separately, and then I will contact John Thompson, and he will sign his oath and get us his additional information.
Before we proceed, are there any specific questions about procedure there? So I would entertain a motion for the resolution for additional appointment of viewer for ditch 4A.
So moved.
We have a
Second.
motion, we have a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, call the roll.
Commissioner Drano?
Yes.
Commissioner Bowe?
Yes.
Commissioner Lipke?
Yes.
Commissioner Morrow?
Yes.
And Commissioner Kemp?
Yes. I would entertain a motion for resolution for appointment of additional viewer for ditch 13A.
I'll move.
We have a motion.
Second.
We have a second. Any discussion? Call the roll.
Commissioner Lipke?
Yes.
Commissioner Drano?
Yes.
Commissioner Morrow?
Yes.
Commissioner Fuller?
Yes.
And Commissioner Kemp?
Yes. I'd entertain a motion for appointing additional viewer for County Ditch 29A.
So moved.
We have a motion.
Second.
We have a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, call the roll.
Commissioner Drano?
Yes.
Commissioner Lipke?
Yes.
Commissioner Morrow?
Yes.
Commissioner Fuller?
Yes.
And Commissioner Kemp?
Yes. I'd entertain a motion for appointing additional viewer for County Ditch 33A.
Move it.
Second.
Motion a second. Call the roll, please.
Commissioner Fuller?
Yes.
Commissioner Lipke?
Yes.
Commissioner Morrow?
Yes.
Commissioner Drano?
Yes.
And Commissioner Kemp?
Yes. Entertain a motion for appointing additional viewer for County Ditch 48A.
So moved.
We have a motion.
Second.
We have a second. No discussion. Call the roll, please.
Commissioner Drano?
Yes.
Commissioner Fuller?
Yes.
Commissioner Lipke?
Yes.
Commissioner Morrow?
Yes.
And Commissioner Kemp?
Yes. We have a resolution for County Ditch 51A to appoint an additional viewer. I'd entertain a motion for same.
So moved.
We have a motion.
Second.
We have a second. All those in favor? No, we're not gonna do that. We're gonna call the roll, sorry. Wanna go speed this up so badly. Yes.
Commissioner Lipke?
Yes.
Commissioner Drano?
Yes.
Commissioner Morrow?
Yes.
Commissioner Fuller?
Yes.
Commissioner Kemp?
Yes. I think it's back in your court now, Jackie.
Thank you. My next item is to set the final hearing day for County Ditch 79. ISG has submitted the final engineer's report, as well as Ron Rehnquist has submitted the determination report. I'm requesting that hearing be set for November 26, 2019 at 10:30 a.m. I believe there is one other hearing that same day at 10 o'clock with Mandy's office, and she indicated that wouldn't take too long and that we could do the 10:30 hearing.
So moved.
Have a motion?
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion is approved.
Thank you. That's all I have.
Thank you for that. This portion of the meeting is closed for attorney-client privilege pursuant to Minnesota statutes 13D to discuss potential litigation regarding the improvement project of Nicollet County Ditch 62A. We are back in open session. I'd entertain a motion to adjourn the meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned. Thank you for all your efforts and your attendance.